All right, you guys. I had an observation while I'm sighting in this Mauser um, with the front sight. So, if you guys are familiar with how the band works here, what's going on is this band is soldered on, and then there's a set screw in here. Let me grab it. There's a set screw with a little nub on the end that goes in here. And, whoops, I dropped it. I know where it is though. Anyways, there's a dimple in the barrel down there that little nub sets in. This is a little flathead. Mine's all tore up. It was kind of like that when I got it. This is not the most pristine example of Mauser, obviously. This is a Yugo capture. There's Waffenamps all over the place, and it's been rebarreled and stuff like that. This is just a shooter, just straight up. I want to dial this thing in a 100, shoot a bunch of Yugo surplus through it and reload for it, that kind of stuff. I want to shoot this gun. But anyways, I'm having to drift my front sight all the way to the left. All the way to the left till it's almost out of the dovetail. It's on the outer edge of the dovetail over here on this side right here. I'm trying to realign that, so I'm turning the barrel band. So I'm heating this up and I'm turning this just a little bit, just tapping it very lightly with a small ball peen hammer. And so made a little mark on the barrel. Again, I don't care. Like, purists out there, this video's not for you. This is not a bring back or anything. So this is just for a shooter. All I care about is enjoyment here. But anyways, so I turned this band and I'm like, where's my alignment point here? Because when you're doing this kind of shit, especially on the older stuff, you're like, well, I could get this perfectly straight out here. Like, even if I get it perfectly in line, what's the condition on my rear sight? Where's my rear sight at? Is that going to be perfectly straight? After 80 years? If these ears are bent, like it looks like somebody's been messing with here, this is going to be the left or the right. You know what I mean? Or this could be pushed that direction, the leaf. So how I'm sitting here thinking, how the hell am I going to align this? I'm looking at the front end of the barrel, to see how straight that front sight block is. And I realize that you can look down in the bore. And you can center the bore. And if you look up, I know it's hard to see in the camera, if you look up at the very top of the front sight block, you can see the notch for the rear sight and get an idea where this thing's at. Where the front sight post is going to be once this thing's dialed in. Oh, I just want to put this out there. There's not a lot of videos on this kind of stuff for the Mausers. This is old technology. Where I'm using a front sight tool on my AR-15, little AR-15 front sight tool out at the range, I'm using a ball peen hammer and a punch. You know what I'm saying? And then, like a chisel to lock the fucking front sight into place. Pardon my language. But, a lot of this stuff is like a lost art. And when you figure something out that you learn, you should probably share it with people. So, say, somebody's got a Mauser out there that's not sighted in. Heck, they want to shoot it, but they're sending rounds over the berm. Stuff like that. So that's what I noticed, is if you actually look down in there, you can align that front sight block with that rear sight and tell get an idea where the front sight's going to be in the front sight band, block, whatever you want to call it. So I just thought I'd share that.